What's going on, guys? It's Not Your Side Chick here, and today we have a jungle review video. So, for some backstory, my biggest problem with climbing is that I didn't really have a model for improving and where I could see my mistakes. So, I figured while I'm still in low elo, technically, and since I do have a model, I might as well share it with the rest of y'all, show you how I go through everything that I do. This is meant for those that are wanting to grow as a player as fast as possible and are willing to put in the effort because this will take time. As a warning, this video is probably going to run long in the half-hour range. I'm going to do what I can to try to brisk things up a little bit, but I'm going to go through every single mistake, every single of my 21 mistakes here, and show y'all the reasoning behind each one and how all of these can be avoided. If there is constructive criticism to give, then by all means do so in the comments. I welcome it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I am playing Jarvan 4 jungle inside Bronze 1 currently. I was in Silver 1, about to hit Gold 5 last semester. Well, sorry, last year, but I had exams the last week. So I couldn't exactly put it in that last little bit of time. So, but that's fine. That is perfectly fine with me. So now, my first mistake is that I took in only 3 people on my invade. I figured since we have Morgana there, we might be able to get an easy kill, which we should have. She should have stuck to us, but she tried to be, again, all kind of sneaky-like and just kind of went inside there, whereas I went directly for the bush. I should have waited for Morgana. Second mistake is the fail ward. But, you know. So, what am I going to take away from that? Basically, I should have all 5 people there. You know, 5 is better than 3. What if they had everybody sitting inside that and we're waiting to invade because they have a good level 1 as well? We could very easily have just been kind of picked off there. We just got kind of lucky. Alright, so we go through our standard clear. Now, my next mistake started off going all... I'm going to have to go through and kind of show y'all this. Show y'all the effect before the cause. Because it took me a second to kind of figure out what my problems were and where it was really messing up. Alright, so this is the problem. So Lee Sin had ganked top lane, and I ended up engaging, trying to be all sneaky-like, going into this bush down here, and he ends up first blooding me. Now, what was the cause of this? Well, if you notice, go back even further, further than this, is that when I start to get through Krugs, I finish that, that's all fine and dandy. And I come up to here, I notice I kind of want to I see Lee Sin. No, I do not see Lee Sin yet. I knew Lee Sin was going to be, like, kind of around bot side or whatnot, but I didn't really want to... Malhazar was pushed up so much, I didn't really want to move away from mid too much, because I was afraid he was going to gank Malhazar, since Malhazar has no escapes and whatnot. So I started hovering around here. What I should have done is that as soon as I see him not get ganked here, you know, not get attacked at all, I should have made a beeline directly for either Wolves or Gromp. I would say Wolves, because that would put me a little bit faster. Instead, I kind of dick around up there. Now, this puts away enough time for me to get here to blue, start blue, and then midway through blue, Lee Sin's already topside, having taken 4 camps in the span of time it took me to take... taking 5 camps in the span of me taking 4. So, that was my biggest problem here. What I should have done is I should have had a faster clear. If I did a faster clear, I would have been up here right as Lee Sin was trying to gank Skarl. Trying to gank Kled, which we win that 2v2. We win that 2v2 hands down. Hell, we almost win it, even with me a level below her having a bad egg gauge and getting 2v1'd momentarily. So that's how much speeding up that clear from instead of just not taking this camp right off the bat and kind of dicking around right here behind Malazar, even though I knew he was safe. I could have taken Wolves here, been top. And that would have been a free double kill. And to kick off the game, and then kicking off that gank would have gotten me all the way over here to chickens. Because I would have been able to invade saying, okay, well, he's level 4. He has how much? Whoops. He has 17 CS. That's not a full clear. 17 CS, obviously, that's enough for... It's 16 CS on the bot side. And then, let's see, chickens is 6, I believe. Let's see. What is it? Where's the Fog of War? It's F, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if he had... So let's see. It's going to be 6, 1, and 10. 6, 1, and 10. That's 17 CS. So it's 17 CS on either side. It's 17 CS on top side alone. But since I knew he came from bot side, that could let me tell that at least one of these camps is up, namely chickens. So that would have been a free chickens for me, which would have set him back a little bit. Alright, let's turn Fog of War back on and continue. So that's that whole spiel. So by me having a faster clear, all of these... Yeah. All of those would have been taken away. That's 5 mistakes leading up to... Oh, sorry. 4 mistakes are leading up to being first-blooded. And then a fifth one. A fifth one that I could not take the advantage of. So now, continuing on. So, I get first-blooded. Get first-blooded, respawn. Malazar cleans up, which that was very lucky. That was very good on Malazar's part. Which that goes to show if you're a mid laner and you see a fight starting to break out that's maybe close, then by all means go up. You may be able just to get a triple kill out of it. This would not be. Then, with that happening, if I had taken, wolves or something like that instead of dicking around, then I wouldn't have to go topside. Which, then, I wouldn't be able to do this gank, but still. Making the best of a bad situation. Of a bad situation. So, I go down here, he's taking Scuttle, misses, I back off. Now, this is another problem, map awareness. I should not have gone down that far. We end up getting the kill here, but it takes too long to do. He was just ended up wasting my time, so that way Lee Sin had more time bot. I would have been able to come, if I hadn't come all the way down here to this bush and just kind of gone back up here, that would have been a whole lot cleaner kill. Been nice and quick and easy, no problems. And then, what do you know? Lee Sin's bot lane, because he showed bot earlier, down at the tower. Don't know if y'all saw or not, so I'm just going to back up and show. I didn't even notice he had shown bot either, which that's a fail on my part. See, there he is. There he is, filling, soaking up experience and whatnot. Soaking up experience, which he's probably going to which he's max health. A max health Lee Sin is never going to base. And look, he even shows up right here. And goes back into the jungle. So that should, right now, I would have been already finished with chickens and heading up and taking Krugs. So that's 3 camps that I would have denied him, possibly. 3 camps? 2 or 3, depending on respawn timers, but I don't have enough time to go back and look that up. So, regardless, so we continue. Continue on with the farming. I cancel an auto. That's whatever. I see Lee Sin coming, so I kind of stay here, which I just want to point out something here. You saw how low Lee Sin was? Let's go. So he's got 676 health. If I was level 6 currently from counter jungling chickens and Krugs, yeah, if I counter jungle chickens and Krugs earlier, I would be level 6 right now to contest him. Well, to be able to just flat out kill him. Because this is something for y'all to know too. Jarvan with red buff can out-duel Lee Sin with this combo. Because he did not take. He took his jungle item early, which means I have more offensive stats than he does. He has 95 AD. I've got 110. And more armor. You know, I outduel him at this point. And also, I even have a little bit more attack speed, but that's not going to be enough to matter in this case. So even as level 5, I nearly kill him. Imagine if I was level 6. I actually get... My ulti does a base damage of 200. Like, 200 plus 65 with my current AD. If I had done those, I might have even had Red Smite with me for the extra 100 and whatever true damage. No, 90 true damage. 90 true damage over 3 seconds. So my ulti would have so my full combo would effectively do around 700 to 800 damage. Whereas he's only just under 700. I would have been able to just combo him and kill him in one rotation. One rotation with some autos. So you see how much those little things can kind of add up. Right here, I would have gotten a free kill onto him. That would have been then I wouldn't have been able to go bot lane and kind of push off this Ezreal or Hell, maybe even just gone mid lane. Because Veigar's out of mana. Malhazar has amazing single target ability, which does he have his ultimate up? Yes, he does. So I would have been able to jump in, so I would have been able to EQ combo onto Veigar, heat ulti, and then that would just flat out kill Veigar. We push down, take the tower, and then that's a free Drake for us. See how these little things can stack up? These are the problems that I'm seeing. This is what happened. This is why you need to take as many advantages as you possibly can. That's why I'm doing this, so I see when I'm making stuff. Alright, so let's go through this. I nearly kill him. Lee Sin ends up dying because Malhazar uses his ulti to clean up the kill. But we would have been able to just flat out kill Veigar. Let's see. Ezreal gets away. Oh yes, my second mistake that I put on here. So if I had walked, let's say I started walking bot right then, I'd be about here, 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 here. I would have been there right about the time Thresh starts coming up to try to do that, which I could just land my EQ combo, then Morgana snares him for ages. And Jhin gets another free kill onto the Thresh. We get to force back the Ezreal, and then that's a free bot tower. Again, another mistake on how if I had just pulled something off a little bit easier, you know, that we would have had to choose between going after Vigar and whatnot, but Malazar would have been able to just kind of turn around and zone off Vigar. And then we would have killed the Thresh, getting that tower off of it. So see how we could have gotten a Drake, a tower, and everything off of that. Instead, we just got like a single kill onto the Lee Sin. My second mistake, I go into counter jungle up here, and I fuck up terribly. I end up letting the Gromp reset, which was just terrible on my part. What I should have done is I should have just said, you know what, Lee Sin's not gonna make it back in time for me to take that. But I was getting a little bit nervous since bot was disappearing. Regardless, that's another mistake. Let's see, continuing on. Let's see what I should have done. Now, it's a little bit after this time with Drake, and I didn't necessarily want to lead Lee Sin onto it. And I didn't exactly have enough that I didn't think to kind of gank bot lane, so I just said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to farm for now. Farm, my priority's hitting level 6, which this ends up losing me red buff. Because I just simply took too much time. I got 1 kill out of that red buff when I could have gotten 2 kills, a tower, and a Drake. Off of 1 buff. Okay. There we are. Feel free to use plant. Oh. Ah, yes. Okay. So, my next mistake. Let's kind of zoom through. So I see we have Lee Sin goes top lane. Our Kled's fed is all hell. So I decided to jump in. Let's kill Lee Sin again. That solidifies him being behind in items by a ton. Not by a ton. Actually, we end up just getting about the same thing. I should have been a ton if I had counter jungled properly. Let's see, we get another kill onto Aatrox. Up here, just standard dive. He baited. This Aatrox is tilted as fuck, probably, right now. We get that, go after thing. Now, what I should have done is I should have gotten either Morgana or Malazar to ward up drag when Malazar went to check, or got, Morgana to go check. Turns out Malazar should have done it because Morgana didn't have any wards. Also, Lee Sin showed bot for a split second there that I had missed earlier. That would have been a free chickens. And a free Krugs. Seeing how this not counter jungling is starting to stack up. I would be probably 2 levels ahead of him right now if I had counter jungled properly and then taken the kills. And then had gotten those kills on him. And towers and whatnot. So I would a full 2 levels higher as a J4 snowballing against a Lee Sin, who, without items, is complete crap. Well, mid-game, he's without items, he's complete crap. Thresh cancels an auto. 2 autos, actually. That's one problem playing on lock screen, you get those. Now we finally decide to take drag. A full how many minutes afterward? If we had taken drag the last time I was bot side, the second one would be respawning right now, so we would have about 2 drakes instead of 1. Another mistake right here that I ended up wasting some time. If I had just hit, since they knew I was at drag because we just took it, if I had just hit the all-seeing plant, then I could have told, okay, well, he doesn't have chickens or well, sorry, he doesn't have a grump or wolves up. So then we come bot, cheese them. This is another mistake. I ended up wasting a flash because of it. To where I could have just, if I had known my base damages, I could have just ultied him. I should have just flat out ultied. Let's see, another mistake. I'm dicking around with Jhin, not getting anything done instead of going straight for counter jungling Gromp and Wolves. Let's see, I'm farming, sort of. I'm not actually getting any CS out of it. I'm leaving them at like 5 health and then going back. Now, I should have based right here. I saw Lee Sin actually comes through there like through a ward, and yet I walk directly into him. Which, it's really nice that Jhin saves me there with the W. And then Malhazar comes to cover me. But that was on me. That was a stupid thing. I should have just gone with, I should have just left with Jhin because there would be more coming. And if I had left with Jhin a little bit earlier and then just kind of ARAM danced bot, that would have been a free inhib turret top. Because if you notice, Kled has nobody on him right now, and the people that end up going are Thresh and Ez onto him, which Thresh and Ez would have stayed either bot or mid to try to deal with Jhin and I or Malhazar. That would have been so again, that would have been a free top turret or at least another free tier 2. So I think we could have, this game is one of those that I think we could have ended by 20 minutes, but I just made so many mistakes inside there that we just couldn't do anything, that we just didn't. They end up surrendering at around 20 minutes, but still, just because you beat somebody doesn't mean you played perfectly. Now, what we should be doing currently is I should be going top lane with Kled once he respawns, because whether or not we got that top inhib turret, if Kled's up there, he and I can go up there, set up vision for him, using one of my pinks. I tell him to buy a pink, control ward. We both set up control wards right inside this bush and inside this one. So what that does is that it blocks off all entrances to where we see them if they're coming after Kled. The only other way that they can get to Kled and kind of go around him is if they come through here and then just go make a beeline straight to him. Or go all the way around, which nobody's going to do because that just takes way too much time. So what that does is it should allow Kled to escape and kind of, push back and forth as easily as he wants to, while the rest of us siege bot turret. Which, if we had gone to siege bot turret, which we can even see as and Thresh going down to farm here, and we end up catching them later here, we would have been able to catch them a lot sooner, siege bot turret with an easy 4v2, while Kled 1v1s whoever comes top lane and just murders them because he's just that fed right now. And that crazy. And we get free towers and free inhibs just off of that, and could get down possibly 2 inhibs. We would most definitely get this one. This one I'm not so sure about. We may be able to. It just depends on respawn timers and whatnot. But we would at the very least get this tower and then most of this tower down. And then that sets us up inside perfect position to be facing Baron, to have a Baron call at 20 minutes. Because then Kled's teleport is on a 255-second cooldown, but what is this cooldown right now? Kled Pled, what is your cooldown? That's Rift Herald. 175 seconds. So that's a little over 2 minutes. Yeah, his teleport would be up um, for a couple minutes right as Baron is spawning. Well, yeah, his teleport would be up around Baron spawn. So that would mean that he would have the teleport to be able to come bot lane, murder anybody who comes at him, or if they send too many people, just back off. We get a free Baron, shove in with shove down mid while top is still pushing minions. Or if that inhib respawns, then we just take out the inhib. Shove mid down while Kled is still bot lane, now with Baron enhanced minions, knocking on a really weak bot turret and killing this one. So many things right there could be taken by just so many things right there could be done if we had just fixed some little mistake, some little stuff early on. Now, would we honestly get all of those? I'd like to think we would, but I doubt it. It's just those are the type of plays that we could set up. Those are the type of plays that Challenger people would set up, that Diamonds would set up, I would think. So that is the entire spiel with macro play, which I'll do a different video on macro play on how you should be trying to set up to my extent and what's technically needed. As a Nasus main, as a top Nasus main, I know a good amount about macro play, aside from the standard point of view, which is just Nasus split pushing the entire match. So let's go through this, kind of dick around for a little bit, trying to push stuff, but they're making stuff. Okay, my final mistake. There's a reason somebody teleports in. There's a reason the 0-7 Aatrox teleports in. He had Bloodwell and 2 people coming. I should have just run from the start. And that's my final mistake. But all that happens for the rest of the match is we just kind of dick around for a little bit. I think we take one more drag, and then they surrender at 20 minutes. So what are the final points to take away from this? All 5 invade or no invade. Take the time to ward. It's well worth it. Don't be sneaky with the Demacian. There are sneaky champs and slippery champs like Shaco, Lee Sin, etc. that are designed to be sneaky. Jarvan's not designed to be sneaky. You can use your EQ combo to get over walls, but you play the game. Finally, map awareness. Ping every time I see the enemy jungle. That's a very good thing for me. It also would be something I can check and see how well I did inside my replays. And in the first 10 minutes, counter jungling takes priority behind free kills. It's just too strong right now. There's the respawn timers for jungle camps are 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which makes them very valuable. Because that depletes a whole lot of experience. Because apparently back inside season 6, a lot of junglers could just say, you know what, just kind of take whatever camps are around. They'll be back up soon enough. Just try to gank and keep up your. Just try to gank and make sure you balance it well. Balance it well between that and warding at your convenience, etc. Now, if you are able to counter jungle properly, you will completely kill the other jungler for the early game. You just will. You'll be 2 level. That's why Shyvana is so strong right now, because she's able to make clears so quickly that she's able to clear out like half the enemy jungle and then contest you at your red. Like, clear out her entire jungle, then contest you at like your red and your Krugs. And then steal those as well. And then she realizes that when she's invading yours, she's actually in her own jungle halfway through the game. And you're 2 levels behind her. So anyways, those are my final points. I would like y'all to tell me if this video went too long, if it went too short. You know, if you need more explanation on them, by all means, stick it down in the comments. Or if you have other mistakes that I made, where you could have said, "Oh, well, you know, you could have fought this. You could have just invaded and killed Lee Sin here because of X, Y, Z." Or maybe you know you should have camped top more, so that way you can kind of keep, so that way you can keep up the pressure and get Kled even more fed. Generally what I like to do with top laners is I just get them fit is that if they get it, I try to get them ahead early on and then just leave them top, because top lane's usually pretty well snowball anyways because it's so isolated. Um Beyond that, I don't believe I have anything. So I just want to say, if you like it, if you like the video, please drop a like. Want to go if you want to see more of this, subscribe. I'm going to be putting out I'm going to be putting out videos like this, whether it be win or loss. Sometimes the list may be 40 mistakes long. Sometimes it may be, you know, 2 or 3 that I pick up. But I'm going to go through them all. This is my climb. I'm trying to help y'all climb with me. So, for all you folks out there, good day, and may the odds forever stack in your favor.